Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's going up against the Chiefs. So let's get you out to Kansas City as we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it looked like he was able to get it back. So a big sigh of relief there, as that would have been a disastrous way to start this ball game. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. A first down throw for Winston. He's got time. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. And Brate has it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. Josh Huff, the intended target. And it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Brian Anger to punt it away.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd down now after the pass completion. On play action, they'll throw. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And And they'll go on the ground. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
Brent Grimes is one of those cornerbacks who was overlooked coming out of college and plays each and every game with a chip on his shoulder.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a big loss here as he's taken down. It's the Bucs' new signee from New York, Robert Ayers, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's the Chiefs punter now. On to punt for the first time this afternoon. And it's taken in at the 9. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
This complete to Josh Huff. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First down, Winston. And Braith, the tight end's got it. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Winston now from the 50. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
One receiver to the left is Evans. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Now a play fake here on first down. McConley's got it over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it, or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
They'll come out in the pistol. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it next.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie Ryan Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come up in an offset eye. They run it again with Martin. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They come out here in the I. They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. There he goes, right side. The 20. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Following the penalty, Martin. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a play fake to Martin. Here's Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Third and long for Winston. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's pulled in at the 32. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Just get back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
The play clock's running down. Here's Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Jameis Winston and Mike Evans came into the league 1 year apart. They're going to continue to grow together. How about their first connection in this game?
Yeah, in the first 2 seasons for Mike Evans, both over 1,000 yards. What a way to start an NFL career. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Second down, Winston. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the kicker commits the kicker's cardinal sin. He kicks it out of bounds. They'll look to throw here on first down. Being chased out left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 25 in enemy territory.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Their big tight end, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he's able to put it through. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Play clock winding down. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Now a play fake here on first down. Deep drop. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be marked down deep into Kansas City territory. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected. A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run. Martin. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go, I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They come out here in the eye. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Doug Martin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Conley's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They got 29 yards there. And it'll give the Chiefs a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
Love the run right there. And when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. They'll look to throw here. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal. They'll set up a throw. And that is caught for a touchdown, Kansas City. Their big tight end. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And it's up and good. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. First down, Winston. He's going to fire one deep, middle of... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second down following the incompletion. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. He's going to take another into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now here comes Kansas City. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They go play action here on first down. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. And now they're in the hurry-up. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Here's Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Again, it's Martin. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And give the tackle there to Chris Jones, the rookie.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green,
they'll send a receiver here in motion right.
All right now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught here by Conley. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Watch it now, Barney.
They come up with an offset eye. Looking to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. One receiver to the left is Evans. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
First down. Here's the run with Martin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think of run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Winston with a give to Martin. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Jameis to throw it. Charles Sims, the intended target, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
This is fielded inside the 5. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. Following the interception, Winston. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
We're back now in KC. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. So the D-line's going to spread out. Oh, design run for their wideout. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Yes, this is where the expression staying ahead of the chains comes into play. Good runs like that one set you up well for 3rd down.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff, and here we go. It's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jude I.J. Barima. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. One receiver to the left is Evans. Second down, Winston. And Boyd has it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Over the middle to Evans. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Running for it. Here's Martin. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
And when you think about the history of Buccaneer football, it used to be Mike Allstott in short yardage situations. Now it's Doug Martin, and he gets those legs churning here, and they'll wind up converting on 4th down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They run again on 1st down. Martin credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. And an athletic hurdle that he displayed. Not a whole lot thereafter, but a nice game. So a pressure spot here for Roberto Aguayo. This one from 35 yards away.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for them, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He'll drop to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And able to find Conley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Another pistol look here. He'll look to throw. And this one brought in by Gathers. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Shipped together here from the D-line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. He gets it to Thomas. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
Here we go.
Back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They're looking to throw this. Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
So they're going to go for 2. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. Now another try at 2 here from the 7 now. Winston to throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Interesting call there. They went for 2 even after the penalty from the 7-yard line. It didn't pay off.
I think the first thought is to go ahead and kick the extra point, but you're not kicking it from the 7-yard line.
Yeah,
right? That's not where
push 5 back on the PAT as well.
Right, so they have to take it from the 15 to administer the penalty. So now you're kicking it around 40 yards. So I understand why they probably went for 2 there. They thought they had a better play and a better chance in that situation.
And out come the Chiefs now. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Cody Latimer, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 2nd down now after the incompletion. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Buccaneers, it's a 2nd win on the year now as they move to 2-8. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.